Okay. Welcome, yogis, and thank you so much for being here, and welcome to your practice at this time of fall equinox and this time of the midpoint of the year. This is, I grew up Jewish, and this is the time of the Jewish New Year, and this time of year for me always kind of feels like the beginning of the year, probably ingrained in me from the time I was young, and perhaps you feel it too, that this is kind of the beginning of something new. So we welcome that and welcome yourself to your practice, and take a nice big breath in. And as you breathe out, bring your hands together, bow your chin, and we'll just rest in your stillness for a moment here. Just feeling, the hands holding each other in equal balance, one not pushing more than the other. You slowly smile and let the muscles of your face soften. Allow your body to find its best, most comfortable seat. Feel the gentle flow of your breath. And that you are back on your mat. It is the dharma of our lives, to do the work that needs to be done. To enjoy the sweetness of your practice. Acknowledging that, it's not all sweet. Some of it is a little tart. But we do the work that needs to be done, moving into the light and the dark. Embracing all that is offered at this time, right now, that you have carved out for your own self-care. I'm just acknowledging that this is a great gift you offer yourself. So smile into that, feel into that, the consistency of your practice. And I'm going to use the word, discipline. It's a bit of a discipline, not in a harsh way, in a loving way. And with your hands at your heart, this is, where we hold our love, the image of love. And that you are offering this great love within your heart to yourself. Embracing, the turn of the seasons, the turn of the year. And that here we are again. And then just moving a different way than we normally do. From here, slowly take your hands apart from the fingers. Take the fingers apart, palms, base of the hands, and then keep opening out to this Libra scales position, this balancing position, with the palms up, the arms out. Feel like, these are the scales. Lifting your heart, dropping your pelvic floor down. Let the jaw go. I'm just imagining here this, like that 4-petaled flower. Here we have one hand in fall equinox, one hand in spring equinox. And here you are at the center, just receiving, being, embracing what nature is offering. As you inhale, start to take these hands up and over your head. They don't have to go straight. You might even keep the elbows bent. And as you exhale, release these hands down in this linear line, once again, to rest in front of your heart. And we'll open and practice, and we're going to chant Om together 3 times. This great act of singing, releasing and freeing your voice. Take a nice full inhale in, lengthen tall. Exhale here. And we'll begin 3 ohms. Inhale. Bow your chin. Release your hands to your thighs. Lift your chin and open your eyes. Okay. So my friends, we're going to start in child's pose, or it could be downward facing dog if you prefer that. Just something to kind of ground yourself with your breath. And we're going to move into cat-cow from there. So if you need to put something under your knees, prepare that for yourself. Great. And moving in to either downward dog or child's pose, whatever you feel you need. And I'm going to start in child's pose here. So have your arms extended, fingers spread. And if you're in your downward dog, then feel free to shift a little bit. You can bend your knees, straighten your legs, whatever you feel you need. Close your eyes and just listen to your breath. Notice your body at this time. How you feel your breath being received. Let your jaw go, any tension go. And then moving yourself onto your hands and your knees. Propping up, perhaps tucking your toes under. And we'll just start with cat-cow. Just moving your pelvic floor, your hips, arching and opening. Noticing what your mouth is doing. If it wants to open, and you drop your belly. What your eyes are doing. Your breath. Good. Let's just do a few more. Just opening, feeling, being, moving between these 2 points, cat and cow. Like the cycles of the sun and the cycles of the moon. And then we'll take this into a revolution. We're starting to circle, and perhaps it's circling of your tailbone, of your hips. And everything else just comes in. If it's too much for your wrists, feel free to drop onto your forearms. Just rolling yourself. And as I do this, I like to get a little longer and move a little bit front to back. Just feeling whatever this is for you, finding your own revolution and your own evolution. And reversing, circling yourself in the opposite direction. Noticing everything, what feels good, what maybe feels tight. Good. And then I'm just going to rock front to back. So almost child's pose. My toes are still tucked under. I'll take myself forward, maybe even a little bit of a cobra here. If that works for you. You go to your edges. Moving, noticing the cat and the cow, how they come in here. You move with your own intuition, own intelligence. Okay, and then coming to your hands and your knees, I'm going to come to seated. So I'll cross one ankle over the other. Take the tush back, walk the hands back, maybe all the way back, and see if you can roll yourself over. If not, you know how to get there. Good. And then we'll just take a moment, sit. You can let your hands rest, sit on a blanket if you need to. We're just going to take a twist. And we'll take a breath in, lengthen, and exhale. Right hand behind you. Left hand, take it to the inside of the left shin to start. Lengthen, and now press that shin away as you turn. And walk the right hand behind. Open the right shoulder. Open the left shoulder if you can. And then take the left hand over to the right knee or right thigh. Push into that. Turn a little bit more. Maybe the right hand can walk behind you a little more. Turn your left palm to face out. Anchor. Notice if you can find a little bit more here. Let's take 2 more breaths. Okay, we're going to stay in the shape of the twist and turn your left hand back. So it holds onto the right knee. Walk the right hand back a little bit so you release maybe 50%. And then we're just going to floss. So you'll turn to the left and to the right. And almost like the light and the dark. You can go slow, you can close your eyes. Find your breath. Feel the right hand on the floor is working a little bit. It's pushing into the floor to turn you and softening to turn you back. And let's just do one more. Turn all the way to the back. Stay here. Anchor your left hand and start to lift the right arm up. And we're going to take this awkward side bend. You reach up and then you lean to the left. The right knee really anchors you. I'm going to add a little extra shoulder just by taking the hand behind the head. And I push the head back into the hand. But if that's no good, you find your own place. So this might be a little dark. And then release, come up, release your hands to your thighs or the floor, stretch your legs out if you need to, or stay as you are. Drop your gaze, close your eyes, whatever one. And feel the difference in the 2 sides of the body. I love this at the beginning of practice, and you can feel that you've opened. Oh, look at all that space that was just waiting to be opened. Okay. Take your hands together in front of your heart. If you want, I'm going to change my legs here, if that works. Change the cross. I like to cut my little feet in. We'll inhale. As you exhale, take the hands apart from the fingers all the way down. So you have the hands like you're holding a tray, some wrist exercise. Take the hands back out to the Libra scales. And inhale, anchor your sit bones, lengthen. As you exhale, bring the hands together over the head. And again, they don't have to go straight. Almost like we create this I shape. Inhale and exhale. Release the hands down in front of the heart. And inhale. As you exhale, take the left hand behind you, right hand to the front of the right shin. Inhale. And exhale, start to turn to the left. And you use that right hand to really press into the shin. Walk the left hand back, open the shoulder. Maybe the right shoulder moves back. And then take that right hand all the way over now. And notice once you bring the hand over, oh, I can twist a little bit more. And now turn the right palm to face out, anchor the back of the hand, and you turn a little bit more. Breathe into your space. into the dark, into the light, into all that you are. Take one more breath. And then we're going to turn the right palm back to hold the leg. Release about 50%. Walk the left hand to a place where you can turn your head all the way to the right. And as you exhale or inhale, either breath, turn to the left. And just floss yourself a little bit here. The neck, the twist, your awareness, your practice. Do one more, and you'll end by looking to the left. Good. Then anchor the right hand. Start to take the left arm up as you turn, wherever you're going to turn. Reach up, row up, get tall, and then take it over. And again, anchor the knee. Even if it's up here, it's all fine. Let yourself go, breathe. Find your darkness, and then maybe you want to take the hand behind the head and press the head back. Open the shoulder. Breathe. And don't forget that knee anchoring into the hand. And then release. And again, we'll come up to sit. I'm just going to lay the hands on the knees. You want to stretch your legs out, whatever you need to do. Drop your gaze or close your eyes and feel. Good. Take one more breath. Good. Okay, I'm going to come back to hands and knees. It's just good practice. So whatever works for you, if you're just taking the legs and you're rolling yourself, notice which side you put your legs. If you're in cross-legged, maybe hands behind or no hands, see if you can come up. Choop. Hands down and be back on your hands and your knees. Good. Okay, tuck your toes under. Come back to your cat-cow and notice how different that feels. Maybe you have more space. Breathe. Okay. I'm going to make this longer, so I'll walk my hands forward or knees back, whichever one. And then I'll start to move front to back a little bit as I'm doing cat-cow. And I'm going to turn this into a revolution. So any place here, start to find your evolution of your cat-cow. To roll your body, maybe moving front to back, breathing, honoring. You'll notice how your knees roll, your feet roll, it's all good. Yes. Notice your head come in, any cracks you get, awesome, right? Like a chiropractic adjustment. And then reverse, circle yourself the opposite way. If it's a figure eight, it's fine. You're moving, you're releasing all those inner organs, get to kind of hang for a moment. Breathe. And then we're gonna rest, either in child's pose or your downward facing dog, yogi's choice. And just feel your breath. Okay, you're welcome to stay in child's pose if that's where you've chosen for a few breaths. So I'm going to add the legs in downward facing dog. If you want to come up for your downward dog, anchor your hands, press back. This is a pose sometimes, we can, if we were in the same room, it would be amazing here because I'm going to take care of your shoulders. See, roll your shoulders a little bit, make some circles here in your downward dog. And the hands have to be connected, the base of the palms connected. Okay, now bring your big toes to touch. We're going to lift the right leg high to the sky. Push the heels of the hands away. Take your gaze to your left thigh. Press the left thigh back. Press out through the right heel. Good. Lower it down. We'll switch sides. Take the left leg up. Press back through the right thigh, the left heel, the heels of your hands. Good. Okay, lower the leg. Bring your knees to the floor. Keep the toes tucked under. Shift your hips back. And then walk your hands back. Come to that place where you can, be on your toes or hands on the floor if you need to do that. You honor this, but, such a good thing to practice, opening your feet, being on your toes. Good. Okay, I'm going to come up to on your knees there, hands already there. So I might put the tops of the feet down or keep the toes tucked under. Hands to your hips. Good. From here, send your tush back a little bit. So you almost lean forward. Good. And then see if you can keep that back and lift your heart. And then start to take yourself back, like you're just coming back in front. You can even take your arms out. Just feel that. Breathe. Is that a dark? Is that light? Feel the fronts of your quads. And then I'm just going to hold it back for 3 breaths. Smile. Anchor your toes or the tops of your feet, whichever one. Good. And then come back. Now I'm going to sit on the tops of the feet. Start by taking your tush back. Come down. Breathe. Adjust yourself on your prop if you need to put the tops of the feet down. Take a breath. Good. Okay. We're going to come into dog peeing pose. So you can do this on your forearms or on your hands. We'll come to downward dog, whatever you need for your wrist love. If your wrists are too much, you come onto your forearms. Big toes touch. Let's lift the right leg up high. And then bend the knee, take the heel to the hip. Lift the knee up to the sky. Take the foot over to the left. Look at your left thigh. Push it back. Press the right foot more to the left. Breathe. And then release. And we'll do the second side. Left leg up. Yeah. Bend the knee. Lift the knee up and over to the right. Take that left foot over. Breathe. And then open yourself any way you can here. Good. And then release. Knees to the floor. Tops of the feet to the floor. Take your hips back. And this time we're going to take palm over palm. Curl in. Rest in child's pose and breathe. Take one more breath. Okay, come up to your hands and your knees. Tuck your toes under and come back up to your downward facing dog. We're just going to add on to that. So from here, we'll bring the big toes to touch. So tuck my shirt in and lift the right leg up high to the sky. Find that dog peeing pose. You can look under your left shoulder. Take more of the weight to the left. Breathe. Good. And then we're going to take this into a pigeon. So I'll bring this right knee down. You might put the left knee down first. And then the right knee is going to come to the outside of the right wrist. I'll walk the right foot over to the left side. And then walk your left leg back if you can. Okay. So here we are. If you need to put a blanket underneath the right hip, do that. And find a place, if your knee is bothering you, move until it's not. Take it outside of the right hand more, or walk your hands over to the left a little bit. Find your space. Now I'm going to keep the chest lifted as best as you can. You can do this on your forearms if you need to. Breathe. Now I have the left toes tucked under. I'm going to push that left heel back. Anchor the right foot, top of the right foot down. Breathe. And then walk yourself out and come down into your, dead pigeon or lazy pigeon. I mean, there's a lot that happens here, but breathe. So you find your darkness. So I'm on my forearms here. If I pull the floor towards and away a little bit, I get a little bit of, I want to to say cat-cow. There's some movement here. Take one more full breath. Now I'm going to switch legs by coming back through downward dog. But you know, you don't have to do that. You can just come to your hands and knees if you like. Otherwise, lift up. I'm going to lift the leg up and just kind of move the foot around, move the leg around. And then place the foot on the floor, and we'll do the same thing with the left side. The left leg up. We'll start again by this dog peeing pose. Open. And then we'll take that left knee to the outside of the left wrist. Move your foot over to the right. And then walk your right leg back. Create for yourself, you know, the loving practice you need. So if this is a very dark pose, you can make it a little lighter by adding in your props. The movement here, I was talking to you, I just start rocking myself side to side. And then extend yourself into maybe a happier place, maybe a not happier place. Breathe, smile. Because, you know, the light places are great. That's where we're comfortable, feels good, happy. But the dark places, those places that are not so comfortable, are the places of the greatest illumination. The dark are the places of the greatest illumination. Now feel your breath. You're going to extend your right heel back a little bit. Soften behind your heart if you can. Okay, and then I'm going to come back through downward dog. It could be hands and knees, all fine. I'm just going to lift this leg up, give it a little, maybe a shake, move the foot. Good. And then we'll put it down. Good. Lift your heels high, take your knees to the floor. Good. Come back to cat-cow and just feel, oh, is there more access? Things are opening. They create longer, and we'll just move maybe front to back. I say maybe, you know, because we're all doing our own thing, right? And then start to circle this body. Maybe this time it's going to be bigger or slower. And then reverse and circle the opposite way. Good. Okay. Good. All right, from here, tuck your toes under, walk your hands back. We're coming to forward fold. So I'm just going to lift up and walk your feet or walk your hands or grab your blocks. And then once your feet are placed, look at them. Parallel your feet, bend your knees, drop yourself down. And if it's okay to grab opposite elbows here and just hang, then go there. And feel the legs are supporting you and the torso is just dropping. Breathe. Release your jaw, release your glutes if you can. Good. And then take your hands to the floor. Inhale, lift your chin and your heart. Bow down. Good. Okay, I'm going to take this right to Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. And if you have a block, you know, you might shoot the block far in front of you, but you might not need one. It's all fine. And so from here, still in this forward fold, I'm going to step my right foot just a little bit forward, maybe like 1.5 foot length. Oh, I have a wall here, so I'm going to move up a little bit. So just a little bit forward. You could be on your block or not. And then the right hand holds the block. Maybe your left hand's on the block too, or the left hand's on the floor. You're going to anchor your right foot, straighten the leg. It doesn't have to go perfectly straight, and lift the left leg up. And then you're going to balance here. So maybe the left hand comes to your hip, You extend, push that right thigh back. Maybe you reach the arm up. And you breathe in your half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. And then I'll release. So maybe the left hand's gonna come down and the left foot will step in line with the right foot. You can switch hands with the block if you were using it. Put your right hand on the floor and step the right foot back just a little bit, maybe 1.5 feet. And then anchor, straighten the left leg, lift the right leg up, find your balance. If there's no balance, you just smile like crazy and go, huh, that's interesting. Maybe you reach the arm up, breathe, smile, be, extend, push the left thigh back, open your hand, and then release. Come back down, find that forward fold again with your blocks or not. Drop, and then maybe you grab opposite elbows. So, you can switch your hands. So you go habitual and then go, switch. Bend your knees, sit down in your legs, send the weight back a little bit to the heels. Breathe. Good. Okay, and then we're gonna come sit. I'm actually gonna go right to squat from here. So you can use your block to sit on or separate your legs wider, turn your toes out, whatever you need to do. Breathe here in your squat. So hands can be on the floor if you need that, or if your heels are lifting a lot, you can throw a blanket underneath. You create that space for you to practice. So you make it so you can be here, whatever it is. Take one more breath. And then we're gonna come to sit. So I extend myself so wide, look at this cow pose. You can take the tush down, be here, but that's a practice. Okay, sit on something, and if you grab some oil and some socks, then let's take a moment. We're now just gonna stay down. So just to oil your feet. And if we were in class together, I would come around and share with you. So I buy these little bottles, and in here I just have sesame oil, and this one has frankincense and a little bit of peppermint and a little geranium. It's really great for our feet as we move into I'm moving into menopause or moonopause, or, the word mena from menopause, and menstruation comes from the word moon. So rub your heels, your toes, your feet, with great love, respect. Feel in. If you have extra, put it anywhere. Feels good. I love sesame oil. You can put it right on your face, whatever you need. I'm going to put the socks on and rub my feet one more time. So even if you don't have oil or socks, rub and love your feet right now. So important. Spread your toes, work them around a little bit. Good. Okay. All right, take your time, no rush. I'm gonna just move the block. Okay, so now I'm gonna take both legs. Actually, I'll stretch the legs out, and then I'm gonna sweep both legs over to the left. And I'll have the right foot against the left. And if this is too much, take your blanket, lift your right hip, and just put support underneath the right hip. And then it kind of brings you more into balance. Now I take that left foot, and it's probably pointing straight out. I'm gonna see if I can turn it and make it point back. So more on the top of the foot. Whatever you're doing is fine. Okay, now you put your hands on the floor or on your knees, and we're gonna start to revolve. Yes. So you make this what you need, my friends. I know that hip creases get tight, and so you can put your hands in your hip crease and even feel. And I'm gonna make this bigger. So I'll take my chest down. There's a turning to the left and a lean back to the right, and then turning to the right. But if you're doing something a little different, that's totally fine. Let's revolve and evolve. Feel this. Yes, so there's a little bit of stretch maybe in the front of your left quadricep. Good. Okay, let's do one really slow. So the next time you come forward, maybe over your right knee, turn so slow and feel, you know, where you can make it a little bit brighter. Good. Okay, and then we're gonna just take a little lie back. We did this in class last time. So I'll take my hands behind, I'm just gonna lie back. Might put the top of the right foot on the floor, move the left foot in a little closer to my left hip, and then drop yourself back. Okay, and maybe you're feeling a stretch here already, then you don't have to do anything else. But if you're not, I open the shoulders, lift my hips, pull the tailbone, or lift the belly, also same action. Put it down again, so I'm more on the sacrum, more stretch here. And then maybe to the forearms, you know, just tucking the chin, lifting the belly. Good. You can lie all the way down. Great. And then the next step here is to hug the right knee in. So I get more in my left quad. But you go wherever you need to be to feel that. And then we'll release. So if you have the right knee in, let that go. Hands to the floor. Come up. And then we'll put the right foot back down. No hands. Lift your leg. Take them to the other side. And then take your blanket if you need it, put it underneath your left hip. Take the left or the right foot back. Find your balance here. Take a moment or two, feel. And then we'll start to revolve here. Again, you know, this, if you have hip stuff, then you're gonna feel it here. Just revolve. Okay. So as you're doing this, feel where the action is starting from. It's really the pelvis, the pelvic floor, you know, all movement really starts here in the center of your being. So feel that, and then if you can go deeper and make this bigger, there's a twist to the right and a twist to the left. Good. Nice, easy breath. Even if it's not so comfortable, then smile so the body knows it's okay. Feel your breath. And shoulders are moving, just noticing. Good. And now I'm going to do one really slow so I can feel everything that's invited to participate here. Good. Nice. Okay, and then we're going to come into that same lying back. So you take your hands behind, lie back. You might bring that right heel or foot a little bit in. Open your heart. And then put the left foot on the floor. You stop at any bus stop and lift the hips, pull the tail forward or the belly up, same thing. It's all connected. Just looking for that stretch here. And maybe you go to your forearms. If you know you have to keep going, you keep going. Lift the belly, tuck the chin. Maybe come all the way down if that's there. And the next step is to bring the left knee in, but you know, everything in its own time. And we'll release. And we'll make your way out. Put the left foot flat, and then I'm just going to take the legs out. I'm going to take both legs out. Just move the feet, move the legs. Yes. Okay. We're going to come to a wide-legged forward fold. You can sit up on your blanket. That will help because, you know, we want to be on the front of our sit bones more. So if that's not happening, you just put a little lift underneath your sit bones. Come forward a little more. I'm grabbing my bolster, but you might not need it. I'm just going to put it here in between and maybe a block underneath. I know it's a lot. Maybe you're already there. So if you don't have it, that's totally fine. You don't need it. I'm going to find my sit. So I like to look at my feet, spread the toes. Feel the sit bones become a little even. Find your light, your dark. Release your pelvic floor. If you're gripping, see if you can let that go. And you can start to maybe close your eyes, bow your chin, and then from a place of softness and ease, walk yourself forward. Okay, if you have that prop there and you can rest on it or add more to it if you need to, and it's all fine. Okay, you might tuck your chin, and you might not be folding that much at all and just have your hands on the floor and the hands behind you and drop your chin. And so wherever your pose unfolds, so that you are in that place of stretch and opening and a little bit of dark. Then you just breathe and receive. And soften where you can. This is, you also notice those places where you're kind of holding yourself back. We move into discomfort. We want to protect ourselves. And just remind yourself that you are safe, you are on your mat, you have everything you need. And we can move into this forward fold with ease and presence. Let your breath relax. You can even let your feet relax. Notice if your hands have any tension. Soften your hands. A little smile curl into corners of your mouth. Feeling muscles that are just getting a stretch here in the inseams of your leg, most likely. But anywhere else you're feeling it is 100% right. And if you have your head turned to one side, then now's the time to just turn your head to face the opposite direction. Feeling your breath, scanning any place you can release a little bit more. And for these next few moments that we're here, it's really being with the flow of your breath. Not doing anything to change it, just notice where the breath is flowing. And taking your time, you'll walk your hands to a place where you can lift yourself up and just let your head hang as you come up. You'll sit with your hands behind you, legs can stay as they are, you can bring them in if you need to. And just take a moment to just feel the effects of that pose. Very calming, soothing, hopefully, for you. Good. Okay. So from here now, I'm going to turn and fold over the right leg. You might take the left leg and fold it into tree pose, but I'm going to take the leg back as we did when we were sitting. So, this runner's lunge or whatever they call it when we were in school. And I'll just lean over to the right, move the left calf out, turn the foot as best as you can. If this is no good for your knee, you bring the foot into the inside of the thigh. Then I can open here. So maybe the right knee, if you have it in, it's going to open wider. I'm going to take this leg back so that when I turn, if I'm centered, I'm here, and if I turn, it's quite a turn. So you decide how deep this is for you. I'll put the right hand down and turn myself to face the right leg. And I reach the left arm up just for length and release yourself over this right leg. Your hands can go anywhere. You can add your prop if you like. So I'll just show you, if I rest the bolster in the top of the foot, I can put my forehead down there. I can hold the bolster, put my hands down. If that works, you can, lots of different things you can do to support yourself. And if you don't have any of that, that's fine too. And then just allow yourself to melt. Feel the stretch, the underside of that right leg. Let the jaw go. The shoulders can rest in whatever that means to you. So, a version of Janu Shirshasana. The full pose, my friends, I just share this with you. I don't want you to fight to get there, because everything unfolds in its time. But it's the tucking of the chin, so the forehead will rest on the knee. That happens once the heart is released. So you take your time and breathe. Let's take a few more breaths here. Softening and receiving. And then slowly walk yourself upright. And if you have that leg behind you, you just lean over. I'm going to grab hold of that ankle, bring it in, and then drop it into Baddha Konasana. So the hip gets that rotation the opposite way, and just be here. If you're already in this shape, great, stay there. And then we'll switch sides. I'm lengthening the left leg. I'm going to bring the right leg back, but you can have it in, whatever works for you, and open wider or keep it more narrow. You find your place, use your props. Then I turn to face the left leg, reach the right arm up, inhale. And exhale, and find your place in your own space. The magic of being with yourself is to notice, okay, how is this for me? Is it okay? It's no good. How can I adjust it so I can rest in this shape? Letting the jaw go, shoulders, and being with your breath and the effects of the pose. So ask yourself, am I in a place where I can rest into this pose and be here? And if you're not, come out, change what you need to, and come back in. Take one more full breath in and out. And very lovingly take yourself out. And if you have the leg behind, I lean to the left. I grab hold of the top of the ankle and bring it in. And then just rest here for a moment. Feel all of that. And we're going to come to Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. Take an opportunity for a little footy. Okay. Again, sitting up on something under your knees. You know, my knees come down, but if they didn't, I would have something there. And you find it for yourself. And then find your center in the pose. So I open my toes, I press the soles of the feet together. That's optional. And then bring yourself into your version. So nice and slow. You might want to rock a little bit just to get a little hip crease love. How often are you in this position when you're not in class? Oh, all the time, when I'm in bed, on the couch. And then just coming into your softness, your pose, you can prop up. So you might have a block if that feels nice underneath your head. Or just supporting yourself on your hands, let your head go. You know, even though I call these more dark poses because, you know, you're in your own darkness. Your eyes close naturally when you're here. You're in your own little cocoon, your own turtle shell. But it's these poses that, you know, bring us into the dark, that give us an opportunity to illuminate ourselves from the inside out, to notice, you know, what's not comfortable, what's tight, and to invite the breath to fill these places in our back bodies. Just letting your head go if you can. Very lovingly press yourself up and hands behind. You might stretch your legs out here. And just move your, actually just open the legs a little wide and we'll just bring the toes in and out so we get this whole hip crease. Always kind of fun to put your hands here and feel, oh, look at all that movement that happens when we move our feet. Good. Okay, so we're going to bring ourselves down and we'll also set up for Shavasana. So I'll just put my bolster handy and a blanket to support your head and your shoulders. So I always open my blanket up this wide and then I'll put it down, lie on it, grab the ends and curl them in just in case you haven't seen that. Okay, we're gonna elevate the hips. So we will go upside down. So I do have a block. If you don't have a block, you can use your bolster or a different blanket. So just lie down, find comfort here. Now I did put my bolster down, but that's no problem. I'll just put my feet in front of it. And then we'll lift the hips and just take your block, place it underneath your sacrum on the lowest height, second height, highest height. And just remind you again, the sacrum is low. It's right, you know, just you're gonna feel bones resting on the block. You can move it to find a place of comfort. So generally what I see, if it's not comfortable, at least to move down. But you know, you find it. And then drop in and just allow the head and the heart to be below the hips for this moment in time. You can go highest height on the block. You know, no awards or prizes, but you lift your heels high, lift the hips high, so you can wedge that block there. I'm going to take my arms out to the side with the palms up, but if you want to rest your hands on your body, do that. And then we're just going to breathe here. Okay, if you feel your back is tight, you can gently rock your knees side to side. Or just release, you know, the back that's not on the block. See if you can almost drop it down. It is a bit of a cat-cow, so more of a cow shape. And if you like to extend your legs, if that feels nice for you, then go ahead and do that. And I know some of you like to play here too, so you want to take your legs up in the air one at a time. You can play there, you can open the legs out wide. I haven't done this for a while. I like to drive the bus. Like there's a big steering wheel between your feet. My legs are wide. I'll just rock them side to side if one's coming. I'm driving a bus. And, okay, I'm going to bring my feet back down. But you do what you like. Take 2 breaths here. And then I'll come off the block. And feel yourself nice and grounded to the earth here. You might hug your knees into your chest and give a little rock side to side or circle. And then we'll move into your Shavasana as you're ready. I do have an eye pillow here. I'm just going to put that on. Just invite in this letting go. I'm also going to open my legs a little wider and pigeon toe my feet a little bit if that's possible. Arms out, palms up, hands relaxed. Rest in your stillness. If you have an eye pillow, then we invite in the dark, and the dark is the places of the greatest illumination. Bringing you into your own inner world. You can hear yourself breathe, feel your body rest. Feel yourself undoing, consciously resting. And consciously letting go. So just noticing parts of you resting on the floor, heavy, and the parts of you open and exposed to the atmosphere, the air around you. And just seeing this as a balance of light and dark, of the heavy and the light. The freeing and the grounding. And feel yourself at the center of that, as if you are the line in the center of the moon between the light and the dark. That you have journeyed with the sun through summer solstice to rest here at fall equinox. This time of preparation to move into and towards winter solstice. Without fear, without dread, but with light and longing and love, surrender, presence. This great gift of time. If you choose to stay in Shavasana, I honor that. Feel free to rest as long as you need, as long as you are able. And if you're ready to come out, starting to move your ankles, your feet, your wrists, your fingers, and moving your toes in and away from each other, rolling your wrists in circles. This revolution and your evolution. And bring your knees into your chest and hug them in for a few moments, and tucking your chin a little bit more in. And whatever else you need, you can enjoy this. And when you're ready to roll to your side, the right arm can extend up and alongside your ear and roll onto your right side. The right arm receives the head, and the left hand can come to rest on the floor or hold your eye pillow if you have one. And savoring this in-between time. And release the eye pillow. Roll the chest more to the floor and walk yourself upright with your hands. Take your time to find a comfortable seat. Cover yourself. Just bring the hands together in front of the heart once you're comfortable and bow your chin. Just celebrating this midpoint between the light and the dark, summer and winter, the heat and the cold, the coziness of both seasons. Very different. And soften your pelvic floor. Release yourself as if you're just opening to the earth. And just do it. We've been doing this little mudra dance. So we open from the fingers to the base of the palms. Allow the wrists to flex and take your arms out like you're coming back to this Libra scale position. Lift your heart. Feel into the power and the presence in your palms. And as you inhale, take these hands up and over your head. And as you exhale, release them back down in front of your heart. Inhale and grow tall, lift your chin, keep your eyes closed. Exhale here, and we'll seal this practice with our May We Be Blessed mantra and an Om. Inhale. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy. May we be happy. Seal that. Inhale. Bow your chin and Om Shanti, Om Peace, Om Namaste. With great blessings. Fall equinox blessings and lunar calendar blessings. Shana Tova, as we say in Hebrew, the blessings of the new year. May it be sweet, may it be healthy, may it be well. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining with me. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Oh, sorry, Pete. Oh, it's a little foot. Hi, honey. Yes, I see you.